Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Hopefully you all had a very good Christmas as well and got plenty of presents and you stayed happy and healthy. So yeah, tonight I'm going to be doing a review. This is a horror film from Mexico, English language, released in the year 1989, directed by Alejandro Jodorowsky, and this movie is called Sangre. This is a very bizarre film, so I'll try and do my best with the synopsis, but it's really a film that you have to see for yourself. So basically the story to Sangre is as follows. Sangre is a temple torn down by bulldozers over the protestations of its leader Concha, the wife of an unfaithful circus performer and the mother of Phoenix. The church is built on a gruesome crime scene, the first of many primal scenes for the young Phoenix, which also includes the death of the beloved circus elephant, the surreal funeral which follows, and above all the hideous violence which separates him from his family and leaves him confined in a mental asylum until his adult life. When he finally escapes, Phoenix's nightmares are ready to become awful reality. So the film centers on Phoenix, the main character. At the start of the movie, we are told the story through his childhood. It's a very, very troubled childhood. He lives in a circus. His mother is a religious fanatic, but also a circus performer, and his father is very abusive and very unfaithful. So there's constant fighting. So Phoenix is really in a dysfunctional sort of environment. But things are about to get a hell of a lot worse when one evening, the mother goes in a jealous fit of anger when she realizes that her husband is getting off with one of the fellow circus workers who's a tattooed woman. So that night, the mother throws acid onto the father gets really angry and horribly disfigures the mother. Now, that scene, that particular event, it tips Phoenix over the edge, and he ends up being confined into a mental asylum because he's just completely lost his mind. And he's been there until, he's a later adult. So the movie cuts through from his childhood. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but that's the basic gist of it. And then it cuts through to his adult life when he is living in this mental hospital. His mother comes back, and his mother wants him with her. So Phoenix escapes from this mental hospital and goes along with his mother. They've been reunited, and the mother is not going to let anyone come between her and her beloved son. And anyone that does come in the way is going to be dealt with in a very gruesome manner. So it does turn to a very real nightmare for Phoenix. And what happens from that point on, that's something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with a synopsis. Now, my thoughts on the film. This one's a fairly hard film to come across. This is a 2-disc edition. I really like it. I haven't actually seen the special features, so I'm not sure where you can pick this one up. But when you do pick it up, be very careful, because this movie is very divided in its opinion on whether or not it's good. A lot of people love it and a lot of people hate it. So just be very careful going into it, because it is a very artistic film, and for the most part it is absolutely brilliantly done. Now, it does have a very similar feel to giallo films, very colourful, very surreal, and very gory as well. And when those particular brutal scenes happen, they happen very quickly, and it's very in your face. So it has been likened to films from the giallo sort of genre, more commonly Suspiria, which is not so much a giallo, but more a straightforward horror movie. So if you like the mood to Suspiria, you're going to really like the mood to this one, because it is very similar in the visuals. Now, Alejandro Jodorowsky has made one of the most bizarre films that you will ever see. Not all of it makes sense. So if you like your movies that are clear-cut and that basically dictate what's happening to you, this movie is definitely not for you. It goes for 2 hours, but it doesn't seem like 2 hours. It kind of seems like you're getting lost in the film. And at the start of the movie, I kind of had hesitations about whether or not I'd like it, but pretty soon, Alejandro Jodorowsky has this ability to capture his audience, and he throws you into it, and you get lost in it. And it's, a really scary sort of experience, but at the same time, it's a lot of beauty. So it's beautiful, it's ugly, it's vicious, and it is also very heartwarming. So it's a real mix of emotions. There's also a lot of humor in it as well. So you're not quite sure what to feel when you're actually watching it. And that's something you don't get very often. And that is the sign of a genius filmmaker. The characters were very weird, very repulsive. And it really felt like it was a movie about society corrupting the innocent, because the only victims in this film were the innocence of children and other people who are not really ready for the outside world. And it really dictates how scary the outside world can be, and how corruptible we can be as young people, or if we're disabled or mentally disadvantaged. So it really is a movie about the harsh realities of the world. But Alejandro Jodorowsky He really does a very unique way of capturing you in a very surrealistic nightmare. But as I said, there is a lot of emotion put into it, so it's a strong sense of sorrow. There's happiness, as I said, beauty matched with ugliness. So there's a lot of contrasting differences in emotions. And when you feel one thing, then all of a sudden you go back down, and then you go back up, and then you go back down. So Alejandro Jodorowsky really does a good job at playing with you, and you'd never know what to expect next. So that is the biggest selling point to the film, in my opinion. Now, the soundtrack. Now, this is why the movie is considered an art house film. The soundtrack plays an ever-presence in every single scene. And it's not a musical, but it's the closest thing you can get to a musical without the characters singing all the time. Each scene has a different sort of audio, and the music is ever present, but it never takes over. So that was something very well done as well. Although not only does he combine emotions, he also combines art, the visuals, and he also combines the audio, but none of them take the full stage, so it's kind of blending them in perfectly. So you never get sidetracked by anything. It just helps contribute to the absolutely phenomenal environment, atmosphere, and the overall story. The continuity of the story, although it's very bizarre and it kind of seems like it's disjointed, it actually works very well, because right at the end it really does. It ties up all the loose ends, and it really does come across as a very rewarding experience. But as I said, if you're only a casual film fan, then definitely not for you. But if you want your films that are going to really challenge you, this is the one. The acting was fantastic. It's spoken in English, but it doesn't really take anything away. I wasn't sidetracked by that. A film I just reviewed before called Strigoi, The Undead, I thought the fact that the Romanian spoke English was just really out of place. But this film kind of gave it another level of bizarre quality, and it kind of fit the overall mood that Alejandro Jodorowsky was doing. So it really does fit in with the story. I thought it just combined something a little bit different once again. The violence in the film, very giallo-like, very surreal, very barbaric, but at the same time sort of from a different dimension. I don't know how really to explain it, but there is one scene in particular that is very, very gory, so just be very careful of that. But it never overplays the violence, and that's something, as I said, Alejandro Jodorowsky has created something that nothing ever takes over. It's all combined with precision. And when you see the film, it does come across as a very pretentious film, but it doesn't matter, because it completely swallows up all your attention, and you're just lost for 2 hours. And for that to happen, as I said, it's few and far between that you get films like this that actually achieve that. Now, I don't really have any flaws with this film. I actually thought it was one of the rare occasions where Alejandro Jodorowsky has created a masterpiece, but don't take that for granted that, just because I like it, you might like it. It's definitely a film that is going to divide the opinion. So definitely, if you're a fan of horror films, I would say be careful, because once again, no genre takes over. There are some very funny moments that weren't quite supposed to be funny. It's kind of like a dark humor, so you'll be laughing at things that you really shouldn't, and you probably feel bad for laughing at them. But once again, Alejandro Jodorowsky provokes that emotion of guilt, because you're laughing at things that really shouldn't be laughed at, but the way it's been done, it's kind of hard not to. So it really is a movie you experience rather than just enjoy. So if you're only a part-time film fan and you want something fun with popcorn, definitely not for you. But if you want to challenge yourself as far as cinema is concerned, this is definitely one. I actually thought it was a very, very sad film as well. It is a movie about a motherly love, and unconditional love, and what you will do for love. And some of the things that Phoenix does for his mother are quite ghastly, but you can see that Phoenix is a lost soul, and he's doing it for the love of his mother. And it's really sad to see that their bond is stuck together through something so sinister. So it's a movie about love. As I said, some scenes will make you laugh. Genuinely a heartfelt sort of film, and Alejandro Jodorowsky has created something so unique with this one. Obviously, this is getting 5 stars. I think it's one of the best films ever made, not only in the horror genre, but also in any cinema in general. So as I said, horror doesn't dominate, drama doesn't dominate, comedy doesn't dominate, nothing in the film ever dominates, but he's combined so many elements, and he has absolutely, done it to absolute perfection, which I haven't seen in any other film. So it gets 5 stars, absolutely fantastic. Go into it with caution, but I'm sure a lot of you out there who haven't seen it will get a hell of a lot out of it. So 5 stars for the Mexican film Sangre. Alright guys, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.